So there could not be a better time to make this video. Twitter is currently getting destroyed by a billionaire egomaniac. Reddit banned third-party apps, which led to a mass influx of people leaving. TikTok is getting banned all over the world by different organizations, universities, and countries, and Discord is spyware, meaning it monitors everything on your computer. And finally, AI. AI can generate texts, images, and videos. It's going to kill off a lot of aspects of social media. Social media can be fake and non-genuine and manipulative, and it has privacy issues and drama issues. It works for some people, for other people it doesn't work as well. The big question is, how do we manage that? How do we build better systems that are capable? All these questions are still looming, and I think they are very important questions that will hopefully become clearer in the future. If you go on my website and go to the link section and scroll down, you'll see I separated them. Which ones are better geared towards business, then which ones might be better geared towards discussions, and then which ones might be better geared towards forming relationships. The thing is, the very place that is great for one thing might be terrible for another thing. You wouldn't have an important discussion at a drunk party. You wouldn't act the same way around your friends as you would in a legal setting. You wouldn't form tough, real, vulnerable relationships in your work environment. So I think separating these places is very important, although these could definitely be argued because we all think differently. So one application that might not work out for one person might work very well for another person. It's in constant flux. Now, if you click on the social media text, you will see all the alternatives I could find. There are a lot more out there, I am sure, but yeah. There are different ones for different areas. Here we have the mainstream ones. They are used by millions of people. It's like 1% of the applications are used by the 99%. It's insane. Except Textboards. No one really uses Textboards. 4chan, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I kind of combine them a little, and YouTube and TikTok. We will be going through some of these, not all of them, because that would take forever. Some of these are really bad and some of them are kind of disgusting. There are reasons for that I don't want to get into, but if anything crosses the illegal territory, I am not responsible if you go to them. I will remove them and yada yada. Now, as far as which ones are good or bad, it's difficult to say. I can tell you which ones are open source and are not going to take all your data. If you go to the computer science section on my website and scroll down to social networks, you will see a list. Some of these are open source, which can be good for privacy. I will be constantly updating this as I learn new things and things change. You can always use alternative IO. So for Twitter, you can just search Twitter, or for TikTok, let's say it gets banned, you can just search TikTok. Of course, at the end of the day, you can always just follow what the sheep are following, but it's up to you. Let's start off with Dangeroo. Here are all the boards, and I actually really like this design. Let's go to Cyberpunk. So here are the posts, and I can actually even start a new thread. Let's go to Cyberpunk Books and Magna. And as you can see, you have a back and forth discussion, and it's all text-based posts. This is really, really cool. And like each ID has a different color. And if you want to reply, so there's the post number ID. Oh, this is really cool. It looks really, really nice. I like that black and white pixel theme. I really, really like the design. And if you go to a certain post number, it'll highlight it. That's really, really cool. This is really, really cool. I really like this. And of course, I have to post something. Let's see if the post works. Let's see. Submit it. And there you go. You got a post number, post ID. Wow, this is really, really nice. And you even got a thread watcher here. You can watch certain threads. Yeah, I really like this design. Heyurai. So Heyurai has two traditional text boards, and this culture comes from Japan. So that's where all real text boards and image boards come from. You have SW, Strange World. This is called Strange World. The problem with this is there's no hobbies. That's the problem with all forums. And if you're going to build an online place, you have to have specific hobby areas, because if you don't and it's just all general, you get a lot of degenerate and stupid crap, and this is all just going to be taken over by bots. Going back to Lounge, we have basically the original design for Textboards, which it looks really ugly. If you click on this, yeah, there it is. Yeah, looks very ugly, but yeah, this is Hey You Rye. Here we have Channel 4, or forch.net. I'm just going to call it Channel 4 for now. And here we have a post from September 1993. And here we have a post from October 2020, which just shows you how old this site is. If we go to the general board, and here we have the old, really ugly text board design. Twitter is dead. Channel 4 lives. Let's start off with Lane Chan. So Lane Chan is named after an anime girl called Lane, who is the main character of an anime series called Serial Experiments Lane. It came out in the 1990s, and it was all about how the internet will change our identities and our perception systems and things of that nature. It's really cool. But we've got the basic, and I think this design could be a little better, but we got the basic homepage. And then we have Cyberpunk is Hard, an Xbox Seagate hard drive kind of thing. And then we got the latest news right here. Some recent images and the latest posts. So I think this design is kind of okay. I'm not a real big fan of it. We go to frequently asked questions right here. The series is influenced by themes such as reality, identity, communication, and demonstrates them by using philosophy, computer history, cyberpunk literature, and conspiracy theories. Most of the boards on the image board reflect aspects or influences of the series. Okay, so let's go to some of their boards here. So here we have the lambda symbol, and that is programming. So what I actually really like about this is, first off, it's black, which it's easier on the eyes when you read it. Another thing I like about it is it looks like they're all very hobby based, which is really good. That filters out all the degenerate, stupid crap. Then we have do-it-yourself, security, technology, games, video games, literature, music, visual media, humanity, drugs, which, yep, no, it's all about drugs, consciousness and dreams, layer, you have their GitHub, which shows that they're open source, and then you have their Twitter. I hate you, Elon. An internet relay chat, their radio, their stream, and their Zine, which I have no idea what this is. So what is this thing? The Lane Zine is a free non-for-profit Zine. What the hell is a Zine? Zine is a small circulation, self-published work of... Oh, that's cool. So it's self-published work about magazines and books and stuff for the fans, by the fans. Late 90s anime serial Experiments Lane. So yeah, they literally... That's so cool. They have like different like books they've released, or magazines they've released. Look at this. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, if you want to check out more of it, go to Lane and go to Zine on the Lane website right here. Next up, we've got Anon Cafe. We've got a couple boards here. We've got Comfy, a place to relax. As you can see, it's got this brown chocolate look to it, which I'm not a fan of, but it's interesting. Next up, we got Late Nights, which has a dark theme to it. This is the cyberpunk and science fiction section. And I really like this theme right here. It has this cool green outline. Oh, the GIFs look cool. Oh, they got pixel art. Yeah, I would just come here for the pixel art GIFs. Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, that's what I would come here, just for the pixel art. Oh, they got more. If only it were more active, but yeah, no, it looks really cool. Next up we have Wapchan. I really like this theme Wapchan has. It's all these white dots are like moving, and it creates this kind of illusion of space and moving, and I just really like it. If we go to About, Wapchan is retro content image board consisting of multiple different boards covering various topics where we strive to make a place not unlike the forms of old. They don't allow frogs or jacks, which I'm a real big fan of. Let's go to the different boards. First up, you got the cell board. Next up, you've got the digital board, which has like the original 4chan kind of image board look to it. Then we've got vintage, which has this nice black theme to it. Then we got media, which has this notebook theme to it. The chill, which is kind of like a little bit more 4chan, like the green look to it. The doodle looks cool. It's the same kind of animation theme we have. And you could, I guess, submit different artwork to it, which looks pretty cool. Then we have WAP, which is just the discussion board. And then you got radio. You also have the kind board. If you don't like a specific theme, you can always go back and have this cool theme and apply this to all the different boards you are on. Next up, we've got Hikurai 3. If we go to their friends, as you can see, they're friends with Wapchan, which is a great sign. They also have their internet relay chat, their Discord, which as you can see is a pretty small community, and their Steam, which is pretty small, 10 members, but that's interesting. Here we have their different boards, and there's not a lot of them, but they're all very hobby-based, which is a good sign. I won't go through all of them, but here we have their technology board, their video game board. Yeah, it looks like it's the same design. I do like their design. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I kind of just like okay with it. You can always change it to tomorrow or the default 4chan themes if you want. But yeah. And finally, we have Ubo-chan. Let's go to the frequently asked questions. Yumi Nikki. In Yumi Nikki Dream Diary, you are cast as a young girl living in a small apartment. There is very little to do in your room but fall asleep, and an entire dream world is yours to explore. Go to sleep, dream freaky ass dreams, collect effects, see Ubo. While the main aim of the game is to collect all the various effects, the real meat of the experience comes from the huge maps to explore. Many of the wide open areas loop around on themselves, so searching everywhere can often feel a little daunting, but keep an eye on the odd landmark here and there and you should be alright. So I think this is actually based on a... hold on. It looks like this is based on a video game. Yeah, oh, and it's pixel art too. Oh, that looks cool. I don't even know about the who cares about the board right now? I need to play this, man. Oh man. 9 out of 10 on Steam. I've got to play it. In any regard, we've got a couple boards. We have the Yum Nikki General. So this is kind of like Lane. They're kind of basing an entire image board based off this one anime girl. You've got the Dream Diary, Fan Games, Dreams. Looks like they have other boards, but they're locked, which is kind of sad. I was looking forward to the psychology board, but it looks like it's become very toxic, unfortunately. They actually have a Minecraft server, which I have to check out at some point. Okay, I lied. 2 more. First one, Tano-chan. Their dark design is nice. It's easy on the eyes. They have a couple boards. The creativity board is all about creative projects people are working on, and it's still active up till 2023. And Sushi-chan. I really like this green design gradient background thing. It's comfy as hell. They have a kitchen section, which is all about food, and a general section, which is just about general information. Overall, this image board looks pretty comfy. One of the best online forums I have ever seen is Agora Roads Macintosh Cafe. There is really no other place like it, and that's why I love it. The design is kind of like Hikara 3, but I like it better. It's really sexy. The way this is set up is kind of ingenious. It takes the good parts of the image board design and the good parts of the form design and combines it, and I love it. And forums are really hobby-based. The more you like the hobbies and the design, the more you'll like the form. If I go to the philosophy board, you'll see a bunch of cool-ass buttons. If you hover over a profile, it looks like the Steam profile viewer. It's really cool. And you have the Nostalgia Lounge, which is just so fascinating and interesting. It looks like they want to keep it a secret. The rule of the internet is the larger the community, the more toxic and fake the community. So don't go on it, don't tell your friends about it, and keep it a secret. Lemmy. Lemmy is the same as Reddit, but it's decentralized, open source, and a part of the Fediverse. You can join a server or run a server, like Mastodon. So we have a bunch of different servers, the most popular being Lemmy.world. Each server has its own communities. So the server is like Reddit, and the communities are like subreddits. All these subreddits are migrating from Reddit. My biggest problem with Lemmy is it's a little hard to browse. So let's say I am the average Joe and I want to browse the community on history or plants or AI or mushrooms. Where would I search that on? Would I search that on a server? I guess Lemmy.world, that's where everything is. So I can search for it there, but I guess you would only search for a server if it aligns with a hobby. I don't know. It's very confusing, but I hope it is successful because Reddit is a cancer. Shroomery is one of my favorite forums of all time. Forums can be subjective and hobby-based, but as it just happens to turn out that one of the most popular forums happens to be something I really like, mushrooms. Again, the same really nice blue design from Agora Cafe and Hikara. There are 3 areas: growing, experiencing, and hunting mushrooms. Lots of good information here. Here we have their message board. If you want to see the latest posts, go to the right. It has this old school format, which might turn some people off, but it's not ugly. It's kind of hard to get the old school format and have it not look ugly. Shroomery has managed to pull that off pretty well. Although the real reason to come here is for the photos. There is just something about mushroom photos. I could spend 8 hours straight just looking at mushroom photos. Sheepish Patio. I am a big fan of this new form design. It comes from the Fourms software, also used to run various other forms. It's a bit more modern. I like it, kind of like Reddit, but not crappy. They are friends with Wapchan. That's kind of the secret of life. If you're friends with the people I like, then I like you. They have a bunch of different hobby groups. Unfortunately, it looks like they are very, very small, which is usually good, but 311 members. That's like a pin drop in internet terms. It's like nothing. I hope they get bigger, just not too much, just enough. The Moat. The Moat is interesting. There is a history about it with Slate Star Codex. It's more geared towards discussions than a lot of other places. You have people who believe in different things, but it's very much so explain yourself, explain your rationality, and go back and forth. Much less I am right, you are wrong bullshit you see all over social media. Comparing Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit comments to this, it doesn't even compare. And lastly, but definitely not least, less wrong. Less wrong is kind of the same thing. It's very discussion heavy, back and forth. Unfortunately, we don't really have places like that on the internet. So when I see places that are built for that, I get excited. What separates it is, let's say you have an idea and you want to see what smart people think. So you write a blog, sort of like an essay, and a person will draw out a long argument analysis of your essay. I feel like this is much better for your brain than reading Facebook posts. They also have meetups anywhere in the world. I really love their site. They have this section called Rationality, and they have all these different concepts and models and topics on how to be more rational. I really love this. The best messaging app out there that isn't spyware is probably Revolt. It's open source and it has features that Discord has removed or hid behind some premium features. All the same things. Here is one of the servers I joined. What I like about it is its design is very similar to Discord, and I really like Discord's design. I just don't like the fact that they are spyware. And it's so close that I can't even tell the difference. Here's a test server. Here's some text. I can react with certain emojis, just like Discord. I can set my status. When I hover over a profile, it looks like the Steam profile viewer. It's really cool. I can call a server very simply by going into the voice channel, just like Discord. Because they are open source, you can actually change the theme, which is really cool. They also have numerous servers you can join and explore, although some are pretty degenerate, so stay clear. You can even create your own server and link it, just like Discord. The only thing I will say is they need an app on iOS or Android. Once they get an app, I feel like it's complete. Revolt is probably the most complete alternative I've seen, and I wish them the best of luck. GetAther. GetAther is open source and it's in the works. I think it looks really promising. They have more information about it on their website. Again, I would check it out. If they can get this to work, that's 2 potential open source messaging calling apps that are Discord alternatives that aren't spyware, and that will make me really happy. Scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt is a really cute idea. I don't know if it'll ever take off. They have a pretty good video on it. Basically, it's really secure messaging. You can send messages to your friends and share posts on a feed, and only you and your friends can see that feed. No one else can see it. So if you are gossiping about people, like people often do, only you two can see the conversation. One of the problems with social media apps is when 2 people are having conversations and then a data breach happens, and there have been many, or a hacker, and all that stuff comes out. This will hopefully mitigate a lot of that. If they could have an app on your phone and make the process of installing a little bit easier, I think it could catch on. Matrix. Nobody is setting up a Matrix protocol. It's too much work and most people are dumb. Yeah, it's secure, but come on. That being said, if you really want secure communication, don't use Discord or even Zoom. Jesus Christ. Use Matrix. Element. Element is supposed to solve the biggest hurdle for Matrix. Basically, it's a simple app that uses the Matrix protocol. The biggest problem I have of it is its design. I want a more Discord-like design. If you can get an app that uses the Matrix protocol that's easy and simple for people to set up and use, and the design looks great, and it's user-friendly and not buggy, then we will have 3 Discord alternatives, and that will be very exciting. As far as the most secure app for texting, you gotta go with Signal. It's open source, it's got multi-factor authentication, it's better for texting. Some other apps that are popular but not as private, and I gotta be honest about it, are Telegram and GroupMe. I could go into it, but people already have. Mastodon. Mastodon is the most successful app that is a part of the Fediverse. However, that's probably due to Elon's shenanigans. It's open source, it's decentralized, it's kind of like Lemmy and the Reddit situation where you have this super rich egomaniac destroying the social network and millions of people leaving. The problem is, just like Lemmy, it's hard to navigate. Here are a bunch of different servers, right? For each different server, you need to set up a separate account. Actually, you can migrate to different servers with the same account. There is a tutorial on this by The Verge. It's kind of confusing, but okay, here's my profile, and let's say I want to follow someone. So I look at the people, and this is the biggest problem. You got to get some e-celebrities on here. You got to get some big names to move over. And I would love for this to be successful just because I'd love to see Twitter die completely. I would love to join all these servers and see what they're all about, but I just don't want to create an account or migrate my entire account to all of them. Blue Sky is essentially a Twitter clone, but instead it's open source. And even better, it's backed by Jack Dorsey. He is one of the board of directors. The only problem I have with it is, well, I have multiple problems with it, but I can't browse. I need an invite code. They're still testing it, but I wish them the best of luck. Substack. Substack is like Twitter, but more blog styled. The app is really good. It's like Twitter, but again, more academic style. It's interesting. It's like if someone replaced the tweet comments with actual blogs, but still retained the functionality. If you go to the notes, you'll see it's more Twitter reply style. If I go to Astral Codex 10 Substack, you'll see it's like they combined a form and a microblog. So they took a form, a microblog, and an actual blog and combined them. So Reddit plus Twitter plus an actual blog. It's really interesting. Subreply. So what if you combined a form, not Reddit, but more like Hacker News, a microblog like Twitter, and a text board like Dangeroo? You get a really interesting result. The design is very minimal, not a lot going on with it. I do like their message system. Basically, imagine Twitter, but with no pictures, videos, no memes, none of that stupid crap. Co-host, another one of these microblogs. It needs an app. Other than that, it looks pretty good. It looks nice, kind of like if you're showing off your art or your projects. You get a full view on it. Firefish. Firefish is freaking sexy looking. I love the name, I love the logo, it's open source, it's a part of the Fediverse, it's decentralized. It just needs an app. They are like Mastodon, so you have servers, but imagine Mastodon, but 10 times sexier. You have the main server, users, channels, pages, and the gallery. I am wondering if any of these will become the next Twitter or not. We will have to wait and see. As far as art goes, you have Pillow Fort, which is like Instagram, but without all that business, relationship, friendship, personal drama crap. It needs an app. It looks pretty nice. I am interested to see what will happen to it. PixelFed, which is like Instagram, but probably without all that business, relationship, friendship, personal drama crap. It's open source and decentralized. It just needs an app. DeviantArt. DeviantArt has a website and an app, but it's not open source. Dribbble and Behance are more project-based, so if you have creative projects, you can put them on here, although Behance has an actual app. And finally, I'm not going to pronounce this last one, but I heard that it's pretty good for anime art. As for videos, there is no alternative to YouTube. I know, it's sad. And even if TikTok gets banned, some other app will just come up that's just a literal carbon copy of it. So it's kind of a waste of time to really care. Although, it would be kind of funny to see all these e-celebrities get banned. A couple others. First off, Bus Stop. Bus Stop is like the bus stop on the internet. You can go there and you can make an image or a text post, and it will only be visible for one day. The next one is Postbox. Postbox contains 3 different boards: the text board, the video board, and an image board. So it's like all in 3: text, video, and image. Their Textboards design is very minimal. I like how it goes with the theme. It's like you're in an actual postbox. Their video board or TV room is really cool. You can submit like different videos for other people to watch. And finally, their image board looks very cool. There is no text, you can only upload images. And then finally, we have Postbox Garden. They are an image board, but with a unique twist. If you want to actually post something, you actually have to send them mail, and then they will post it on their website. When it comes to professionalism, rather than make a LinkedIn, you can just build your own website through GitHub pages or GitLab pages, or just use one of the online services available, and then you can put your experience and projects on it. My favorite though is NeoCities. Probably not the most professional, but for more personal and hobby-based designs, I really like it.